So Parachat UK's aim is to enable everyone in the paranormal community to give them access to paranormal conferences free of charge. We want everyone to have the chance to take part, share knowledge and educate themselves and others. Parachat UK strive for inclusivity, providing equal access to opportunities and resources for people who might otherwise be excluded or marginalised, including those having very little money, physical or intellectual disabilities, or belonging to any other minority group. Parachat UK is the People's Conference. Tonight we are blessed with some great speakers from across the UK covering some interesting topics. We have PSI Paranormal Scientific Investigators, Paranormal Pathway, Myth, Paranormal Inc., Pursuit of the Paranormal, To Investigate UK, Hull Uncovered, Paranormal, and Dark Side Spirit Seekers. So it's going to be a pretty fun-filled evening now. If you like anything paranormal.
Good evening, everyone. We are PSI Paranormal Scientific Investigators. We are a dedicated and evidence-based team committed to exploring and documenting paranormal phenomena through scientific methods. We are not scientists. Between us, we have over 66 years of experience researching the paranormal. Our mission is to bring clarity and credibility to the field of paranormal investigation. We approach every case with a critical eye, using technology, data analysis, and logical reasoning to separate fact from fiction. Whether it's unexplained sounds, visual anomalies, or environmental changes, we rely on measurable evidence to guide our conclusions. Our goal is not to sensationalize, but to understand and to help others understand the unknown. Tonight, we invite you to become temporary paranormal investigators. We'll be sharing some of our findings, methods, and experiences, and we encourage you to keep an open mind, ask questions, and engage with us as we delve into the fascinating world of the unexplained. I'll be showing you 3 video clips. The first one will be a child-sized figure appearing in a doorway. The second will be a strange black mass captured in our digital still photographs. And the third is what appears to be a shadow person walking from right to left across the doorway. Thank you for being here. Let's begin. In 1878, built of Victorian brick, the Gothic Revival-style London Street boarding school was opened. It is a Grade 2 listed building in Kingston upon Hull. In the late 1980s, it was used as the School of Architecture for the University of Lincolnshire and Humberside, which is known as the Strand. One Saturday evening at 11 p.m. in May 1999, a fire broke out and destroyed the whole building. Time to be paranormal investigators. We can see what resembles a small person walking across the doorway. I showed this to my 9-year-old son, who got it straight away. Does anyone have any explanations as to what it could be?
A shadow. Obviously it's a shadow, but you know, like reflecting from your lights. As you move, that moves. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Probably not.
Anyone else? Well done, Gemma.
Thank you.
We can see what resembles a small person walking across the doorway. I'm holding in my right hand an infrared camcorder, and on my right shoulder, this footage is captured on a body cam. Both these cameras have got infrared illuminators. As I'm panning round, you'll see there's a tripod not far from the doorway, and the infrared from the camera, what you cannot see with your naked eye, is casting a shadow. on playback. Thank you, Tony. We tried to debunk our own work by putting things in front of the camera lens. We could not replicate it. This is our EMF in front of the camera. What did we capture on 2 different cameras? The second clip is showing the black mass on our digital still photographs. I'm using a cheap Nikon 12 megapixel automatic zoom camera with SanDisk SD cards. Sony is using a more expensive Lumix G5 with a massive zoom lens and Sony SD cards. Both flashes are out of the way, situated on top of the camera. Does anyone have any explanations for this? Well, first of all, it's not us exhaling. If we was exhaling, that would show up as a white mist. This is a black mist. Is it atmospheric conditions? Is it the damp? Is it static? Or is it EMF fields affecting the SD cards? This video is inconclusive. I don't know what it is. Thank you, Tony. Did we capture a shadow figure? What do you guys think? Possible shadow figure captured on Tony's body cam. Outside of that doorway and the building are lots of bramble bushes and trees. There's no possible way somebody could walk past. Tony didn't see this until he checked his footage at home. Does anyone have any explanations as to what this could be? No. Is it windy? No. So one explanation is there could have been somebody in the area, but there wasn't, because I was at one side of the building, Tony was at the other. It's just, you'll see at the end, there's a bit of drone footage, there's loads of bramble, there's no way you can walk through that area. So that is inconclusive. Before I hand you over to Tony, here is the drone footage 1 year later of the exterior. Please do not try and enter this building. It's really, really dangerous. It's falling down. Thank you, Tony. check out.
Right, good evening. Welcome to this session on paranormal investigation. I've called this Understanding and Investigating the Paranormal, a practical guide to EVP and beyond. Well, this evening we'll explore one of the most fascinating and controversial areas of modern research. That's the search for evidence of the unknown. My focus will be on electronic voice phenomena, or EVP, and on how professional investigators approach, record, and interpret such experiences. We'll also look at the industry that is developed around paranormal investigation, the theories behind the phenomena, and the practical training and environmental factors that can make or break an investigation. One thing I want to make very clear in this presentation is we're not telling anybody how to do it. We're talking about the methods that have served us well in the past. We operate like this. This may not be for your team, okay? So what is paranormal investigation? Okay, at its core, a paranormal investigator. To be a paranormal investigator is to study the experiences that seem to go beyond what science can currently explain. But I think we all remember a meme from a few years ago that explained it absolutely brilliantly. This is what we think we do on a paranormal investigation. I don't care what team you're in. This is what we do. This is me and Mark ready to storm a building to sort it out. Try it. Cool guys, this is what we think we do. This is what society thinks we do. It's having a whale of a time, doesn't it, really? Yeah, that is what society, the people who don't, it's got to be in your blood, hasn't it? The people who don't get it, that is what they think we do. When in reality, 90% of it, I think you know what I'm going to show. Look how bored he is. Look at his face. He's only realised he's got another 3 hours to go reviewing that footage. This is 90% of what we do. When we review the footage, video footage, audio, I couldn't find another picture that encapsulated it better. Look at his face. Oh, God's sake. So, apparitions, disembodied voices, unexplained sounds or objects moving without cause, those things that go bump in the night. Investigators aim to collect data using a combination of technology, observation, common sense, and environmental awareness. The modern paranormal investigator is part researcher, part technician, and part skeptic. Indeed, PSI's mission statement is, the goal is not to prove that ghosts exist, but to explore and document what happens in a controlled, repeatable way. This is the important thing for us. This is the scientific method. As Mark said earlier, Mark or I aren't scientists. We use the scientific method because it makes sense. It's consistency through process. That may not be right for some other paranormal teams, but it's bang on the nose for us. So, understanding EVP, or electronic voice phenomena. Excuse me. So, as we may all know, EVP refers to mysterious voices or sounds that appear on electronic recordings but weren't heard at the time of recording. They're typically short, often just 1 or 2 words, and can range from whispers to distinct phrases. So, how is EVP captured? Investigators use digital or analog recorders, spirit boxes, or white noise generators. Recordings are made during periods of silence or while asking questions aloud. Later on, investigators will review the audio, sometimes slowing it down or enhancing frequencies to detect any anomalies. Now, while we're here talking about this thing, let's go back in time and look how it started. Because it had to come from somewhere, right? Well, the earliest reports of EVP capture came from the 1950s with a chap called Friedrich Jurgensen. And he reportedly captured the voices of the deceased while he was making live recordings of birdsong. Konstantin Rodive expanded on his work in the 1960s and reportedly published thousands of EVPs. So where has that led us to? Let's have a look at some modern techniques. Well, today, many use digital software to analyze waveforms and rule out contamination from background noise. Radio interference or pareidolia, that's the human tendency to hear and see patterns in randomness. Now, I've got a great experiment coming up in a bit that you can all take part in. You'll see exactly what I mean. So now we've zoomed back up to modern times. Let's have a quick look at the paranormal industry and see where it's all led us. You see, what began as a niche hobby for these guys in the 1960s and 1950s has now grown into a $1 billion global industry. There are now television shows like Ghost Adventures and Most Haunted. What are you laughing at? Guys, you can say what you want about Most Haunted, but it had to start somewhere, and these were one of the first teams that did it. It's just a shame it went downhill, isn't it? What a shame. There are thousands of independent teams with online followings. Summary this evening. And well done. There are ghost tours, training courses, and of course conferences and conventions. I think my point is this industry serves both as entertainment and education. However, this raises challenges such as the pressure to produce dramatic evidence or the temptation to exaggerate findings for views and or revenue. And guys, I completely understand. It's just the world we live in today. Sometimes you cannot separate the two. Professionalism, though, means staying grounded, documenting everything, remaining transparent about results, and understanding that most anomalies have natural explanations. I think this is what makes us a little bit unpopular as a paranormal team, but we all want it to be paranormal. We all want it to be paranormal. But let's have a look at some of the theories behind paranormal phenomenon. Now, I've split these down into three separate groups. You may argue there are more, but just for the purpose of this, for what we're doing tonight, I've split it into three groups. So first, we're going to look at psychological theories. So what are the psychological theories behind paranormal phenomena? Well, as I mentioned earlier, the brain is hardwired to find meaning in randomness, faces in shadows, voices in static, etc. And you will see and hear them. Stress, fear, and expectation can heighten suggestibility. And auditory pareidolia is a key factor in EVP interpretation. I absolutely love that. I love that. And as I say, we're going to come to a little experiment in a bit. Next, we have physical or environmental theories. Some interesting things here. Certain locations hold unique electromagnetic conditions that can cause strange effects, such as our good old friend infrasound. Low frequency sound waves, infrasounds, can create sensations of unease or even cause hallucination. Remember back in the, I think it was the late 80s, early 90s, and it was the time when they were building Princess Key. And I don't know if some of you will remember, but that place was having a lot of bad reports about people not being able to stay in the building for like over half an hour because it was making them literally feel physically ill. And what it was, you know, they got these great air conditioning systems with these big impellers that draw air through the buildings and great big bloody fans on. They were going slow enough to cause an eddy current in the air. You know, the air was rebounding off itself, rebounding all the way through the building. It was coming back as low frequency sound because you couldn't hear it. It's completely beyond our range. But a great example of that, knowing what that hasn't worked out yet. There's something wrong. You can't see, hear, touch, feel, smell it. It must be paranormal. And a lot of people were putting this down to paranormal roots, but it wasn't. It was found this was happening a lot in the States as well. They gave it a name, sick building syndrome. And it was infrasound causing all of it. That's the physiological effect it can have on it. It is real. Yes, our good old friend black mold. I'll always do it. Carbon monoxide, or electromagnetic fields can subtly influence perception. This isn't snake oil. This is all proven stuff. So do your groundwork before you go on an investigation. Make sure you know what fields are there. Make sure you know what you're walking into. Just for reference, in milligauss, what do you think the minimum amount of milligauss is that the scientists say is okay for you physiologically before you start suffering any effects? And can also be a cause of childhood leukemia, some say.
1.
Who said that? Well, you got a deep voice. It is actually 1 milligauss. We've all measured that. We've all measured far more than that. 1 milligauss is all you. That is strong enough to have an effect on the human physiology. So just bear that in mind. Oh yeah, this is what we've been waiting for, Tony. I had to leave this one till the end. Spiritual, or as I call them, survival theories. The survival of some kind of essence after the cessation of all recordable life. Spirit, soul, call it what you want. But many believe EVP represents genuine communication from consciousness beyond death. Some even suggest it involves residual energy recorded into an environment, like a playback of emotional energy. And if any of you out here haven't been fortunate enough, and I've had to credit Richard Felix in this. Excuse me. If you've never been fortunate enough to sit down with this guy for a couple of hours and talk about his theories, stone tape is one of them. I'd encourage you to make it happen. What is an absolutely lovely guy, and it's paranormal investigation. At the moment, all we have is our best theories and our own best thoughts and ideas. And stone tape holds up for me because it's plausible. It's all we've got.
Richard's actually moved on from stone tape to silica. You heard that?
Silica, silica exists in all kinds of stone. It's natural glass, isn't it? Yeah, silica theory. They're actually working on crystal chips for computers that could hold thousands of terabits of information. Yeah, so why not? Why not? Regardless of belief, all investigators benefit from understanding each perspective before drawing any kind of conclusion. So let's have a look at some training and equipment. You think, training for being a paranormal investigator, where would you get that from? It's incredibly easy. It really is straightforward. But proper training is essential. We think proper training is essential, okay? What that means is paranormal investigators should learn skills from multiple fields such as psychology, physics, electronics, and environmental science. Just an all-round good understanding of how the world works, so we can tick off those boxes. No, I think it's that. I think we found this before. There's an experiment that proves that X, Y, Z, don't we? Tick that off. It helps so much, just an understanding of the world and how it works. But so your essential tools should include a no-brainer, first and foremost, a notepad and a pen. It was good enough for Harry Price. It's going to be good enough for us. And if actually, funnily enough, if you see Babs, if you want to take notes through these presentations, we have some, what do they call them? Reporters' notebooks, and our very own specially embossed Parachat UK pencils that are going to become very sought after and antique really quick. They're at the back. Hey, they're at the back. You can get a reporter's notebook and a pencil, £1. That £1 is going straight to children with cancer. So it's going to a really, really noble cause. And also, don't forget about the raffle throughout the night, because there's some great little prizes up there. So first and foremost, notepad and pen. This is going to sound a stupid thing to say, but a good, reliable torch. We've dropped them off stairwells, we've dropped them in puddles, we've half crushed them, thank God the things still turn on again. We would say, save your pennies and get a good named brand, rather than wasting your time off eBay. Get a good named brand. Okay, digital and stroke analog recorders, depending on what method you favour. It really doesn't matter. Temperature and humidity sensors, a camera. And don't forget with the camera, Tell a story. Take as many photographs as you can. Tell a story. Fill that SD card up, and don't forget, the more photographs you take, the more chance there is of you catching some kind of anomaly on film. I've run people who go to a site and take 1, maybe 3 of each film. They think, what are you doing? Snap away to your heart's content. Motion sensors. No, sorry. EMF, electronic field meters. Temperature and humidity sensors. These are your environmental sensors. Motion detectors and night vision cameras. Thermal at a stretch. I say at a stretch because some of the good units are still kind of like pretty costly. Before any investigation, conduct a baseline reading of the environment. Note temperature, sound levels, and EMF readings. During the session, keep careful notes. Notepad and pen. Babsy, pencil, pound. Just at the back there. No, honestly, make sure you're proud of this. Go to a great cause, it really is. Participants' names, time, weather, everything. Any external noises, mark them down and timestamp it as you're marking them down. You have no idea how much a good, well-kept set of notes helps you when you're reviewing your audio. And you remember things when you're reviewing your audio. Oh, I've got a note about that. Yeah, it was X, Y, Z, it was that. Afterwards, review recordings objectively, ideally with a second listener to avoid personal bias. Now, are we all familiar with the green needle brainstorm sound experiment? Yeah? Yeah. Absolutely great indicator of personal bias, because you will hear what word you expect to hear. And I've got a video to play you. And I'd like to get one of those terms in your head now, green needle or brainstorm, and stick with it, all right? Green needle. Can you just make sure the volume's up a little bit on the main desk, Mark? Just so it's heard properly. That's it. Okay, Mark, do you want to just start with it? All right, you all heard what you expected to hear, yeah? That word in your head. Right, we're just going to play the video. Think of the other word this time. If you thought green needle, think brainstorm, vice versa. Mark, if you just play the video again, please. Yeah, that's incredible. How does that happen? It's so important to get another view of what an EVP says. Don't tell the person what you think it says. Can you just escape out of that, please, Mark? Now, some EVPs that you capture seemingly don't need an explanation, because we're going to keep everything in-house, as it were. This was still another piece of footage from the Strand. And I was in a room on my own doing some EVP recordings, and this was live. I picked this up, and you can tell by my face, I could hear immediately what it said on the EVP recording. There are annotations on screen. If you don't want to see what I thought it said, avoid it, just avert your gaze. But this was just weird. Mark, if you just want to start with it for me, please. Thank you.
Just quickly, before we get to the EVP, I'd just like to point out that we were in this very room in June 2021 when we caught our shadow figure footage in that doorway to the left. So if there's anybody here with us in spirit, if there's anyone here with us in spirit, it's okay to talk to us. It's okay to communicate with us. You can communicate with us by talking into this little device I'm holding in my hand. And when it's played back, we will hear you. Can you try your best to give us a word? You try your best to give us your name. My name's Tony. What's yours? So if there's anybody here with us in spirit, if there's anyone here with us in spirit, it's okay to talk to us. It's okay to communicate with us. You can communicate with us by talking to this device I'm holding in my hand. You can communicate with us by talking to this device I'm holding in my hand.
Yeah. Can you just escape out of that, man, please? Thank you. Where did they come from? Where did they come from? It's so important. Whenever I know you can't do it all the time, but whenever you're recording EVPs, we always like to have another field recorder going on in the background, or we film ourselves doing EVPs. That way you catch the evidence. No one can say, oh, that sounds dubbed on. If it was just an EVP, that would be so easy. This was caught real. Where did they come from? I don't know. I don't think I ever will. What stopped me doing it? It's an area I absolutely adore. Okay, so. He's still up there. Don't worry, I'm nearly done. I'll be done in 2 minutes. Environmental awareness and ethics. We're nearly there, guys. You're doing really well. Investigating haunted locations requires respect for the site, for the people connected to it, and most importantly, for the truth. Always gain permission to enter private property and always follow safety protocol. Environmental factors are vital. Humidity, acoustics, traffic noise, even wildlife can mimic paranormal activity. Crows, ravens, starlings, and even the humble magpie. Can anybody tell me what is special about these birds? Some kind of special skill that they've all got. And this is just a small amount of it's the corvid avian family group. Excellent. Yeah, the mimics. Yeah, and they will mess with you. They will mess with you if you're an outside investigation and you're on their territory, and it does work that way. And by the way, they have an average intelligence of a 7-year-old human child. In comparison, we think dolphins are intelligent, and they're the average of a 4-year-old. Okay? So you're in their house. You're in their house, bitch. And they will let you know. They'll drop stones on you. They will throw sticks at you. And the next time you're doing an investigation with your team in a wooded area and you go, hello, and you hear a little voice go, hello. What's the chance of it being the disembodied voice of a deceased person or one of these? Occam's razor. I tell you, it's Occam's razor. The simplest explanation is generally the right one. Oh, here's another example of how wildlife can mimic paranormal activity. Will you just play this for me, Mark? Thank you. At the Strand, yet again.
Guys, sorry about that. We've just been taking photos. We've got some. What? What's up? What's up? A fox. No, we've been getting some really strange anomalies on the.
Can't believe it.
It's a fox.
Just pause it. See? That, where is it? It's just this. Oh, yeah, there it is. Yeah. That massive fox.
That was a 6-foot fox. That was massive.
Got it up deep, it was. It's like a bloody timber wolf. Wasn't it? Okay. So a good investor looks for rational explanations first, documenting every variable before considering anything supernatural. Matt, can you escape out of this fit for me, please? Okay. Ethically, never prevent unverified evidence as fact. The goal is investigation, not sensationalism. Don't worry, I'm there. Conclusion, balancing belief and science. So the field of paranormal investigation sits at a crossroads between science, spirituality, and storytelling. Whether EVP represents human imagination, environmental interference, or something truly beyond our understanding, the process of investigating teaches critical thinking, patience, and humility. And remember, as you continue your training, approach each case with curiosity, not conviction. Use your equipment responsibly, and most importantly, be a truth seeker. Seek the truth, even when it disproves what you hoped you'd find. And we all want it to be paranormal. We really do. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and may your next investigation be both safe and enlightening. Thanks very much.